Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Now, I want to thank every single one of you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, guys. Now, today we're going to go ahead and talk about the preview versus Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. The revenge, guys. The revenge game that we've been waiting for. The second time we're playing the San Francisco 49ers, guys. And let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and roll that intro. Alright guys, thank you so very much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. Like I mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and talk about the preview versus Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, it is going to be a rematch. Honestly, I can honestly say that this game is probably going to be super hard to win. And the reason why I say that is because if you did not watch that Monday Night Football game versus the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, the 49ers got their first L of the season. And I do not think they're taking it lightly. I think they're going to want to reverse this, momentum of losing, and I honestly have a bad feeling about this on the Cardinals side. I feel like we're just going to kind of get steamrolled. And I have not said that very often throughout the year, but I honestly don't think I like how this game is going to look like so far. And just because I think that the San Francisco 49ers is going to play with that chip on their shoulder, because they feel like they probably most likely could have won that game if their kicker was in Robbie Gould. But unfortunately they had a rookie in there and he missed the field goal to win that game for them in overtime. But guys, I do have some 3 keys to success. I really do hope we can go ahead and pull out this win. I did go ahead and release a video that said, should we start tanking? And I'm so happy to hear a lot of my subscribers are saying, no way in heck should we ever think about tanking, because at this point right now, we need to make sure that Kyler Murray is getting all the reps he possibly can and get ready for next year. And I honestly loved it. I loved every single one of your guys' comments. I'm sorry I couldn't get to every single one of your comments, but most of them I was able to go ahead and read, and I was trying to go ahead and respond to everybody's back. But 3 keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals to get this win. Now, this is kind of saying, number one, that defense, our defense, they got to get it together. Like, can we give them a little bit more breaks? Probably not. They need to get it together. Our defense needs to hold San Francisco 49ers to at least 14 points and below, or 20 points and 21 points and below. I just don't see it happening, to be honest with you. It all starts off with our defense, I feel like. I think throughout the year we've proven that we can score points with this Cliff Kingsbury offense. The only game that I feel like we really couldn't score points on was going to be against the Saints. But we all know that the Saints are a really, really good team and possibly Super Bowl contenders. But I know we can move the ball really good. Cliff Kingsbury, keep doing what you're doing. You're making some magical things happen, but that defense is number 1 on my list. They need to stand up and make some stops. I know we had a good amount of turnovers this last game with Jameis Winston. Some might say it was because Jameis Winston, but still, I want to see more turnovers on the defensive side. I feel like that would be one of the biggest keys to success on the game tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. On the game this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Now, the next key to success, as far as my opinion here, I feel like we need to go ahead and contain Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I don't know if you guys seen, but my last video for the San Francisco 49ers, I said that Jimmy Garoppolo was not a threat to us. I said that he did not make it on my list, but boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. He ended up burning us, and we need to contain him. That's number 1. Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be contained, and it all starts off with the defense going back to bleeding into my number 1. The defense needs to buck up and get some actual turnovers. So number 2 is stopping Jimmy Garoppolo, making him under pressure. I feel like we should throw a little bit more blitzes. Vance Joseph, mix it up a little bit, make him uncomfortable, because as you can tell in that Seahawks game, Jimmy Garoppolo can play scared, especially within that 2-minute drive he had. He almost threw like an interception about 3 to 4 times when, the Seahawks should have caught those balls, but they ended up just dropping and falling off their own hands. But he can play scared, and that's what we got to do. We got to make sure that Jimmy Garoppolo plays scared and he's not comfortable in the pocket. Number 3. Now, this one is kind of a reach, and I know this deep down myself. Chase Edmonds is not going to be playing. I feel like he's not going to be playing in this game. He's still nursing a hamstring injury. But our 2 running backs right now, Mr. David Johnson and Kenyon Drake. My personal opinion, I feel like Kenyon Drake should start. He should start at running back, and David Johnson should be wide receiver and running back whenever Kenyon Drake needs a rest on the field. That's my personal opinion. I feel like we've seen a good amount of David Johnson at this point. If they do not use him as wide receiver, I don't really see why not. I don't get the mentality as far as we do know that he is a really good player, but he's just not a great running back anymore. 2016, 2015, those days are long past due, and we do not see that happening any longer. David Johnson as a wide receiver, Kenyon Drake being our number one running back, and I feel like we can have some success as long as we can get the run game going and have Kyler Murray throw some nice dimes to Christian Kirk, because Christian Kirk went off. He went off on that Tampa Bay game. Now, some might say it's because they have a really weak secondary. I completely agree. They might have had a weak secondary, but Christian Kirk needs to get more involved, and also Kenyon Drake needs to be our number 1 running back. Those are my keys to success, guys. If we can maybe somehow think of getting some sort of win, some sort of momentum for the next game, some sort of momentum for the next game. Those are the 3 things I think we should look out for. So just to summarize, defense needs to buck the heck up. Number 2, Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be contained and make him play scared defense. And number 3, Kenyon Drake being our number 1 running back, David Johnson being his backup, and using David Johnson as a wide receiver when we see fit, and also Christian Kirk having another monster game, guys. I can't wait for the day that Christian Kirk is being recognized nationally, and that Tampa Bay game is just one step in the right direction. Let's keep it going, Christian Kirk. Let's have another massive game. That's pretty much all I got for this episode, guys. I'm out. Thank you so very much.